Coming up on the podcast for today, we're joined by content creator who left corporate to go all the way to doing skits, going viral, but also emceeing, hosting, presenting, living his dream, Mr. Sipho Alphi Mkhwanazi, who has different characters, but is somebody that I'm such a true fan of. And he's going to be sharing so many things out of his story, not just the fun stuff, but also chatting to us about grief and how he has gotten through losing his sister and what it takes for him to send his mom to Durban, and also SARS. He's scared of you. Find him. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Relebogile Mabotja podcast. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all of those drills, and comment down below who you'd like to see on the show. Today's guest, I have been such a fan of. I know I say this every single week, but I'm such a fan of this person, so much so that I've memorized one of their skits, and I've been trying to work with him forever, and I'm so glad he made time for us in his busy schedule, being 7 different people. Sipho Alphi Mkhwanazi!
Yay! What is
Welcome!
How are you?
Listen, I'm so excited to see you.
Goodness, 4 decades look incredible on you. Okay, this is. I'm looking forward to this.
Please refer to me as Me Relebogile.
Could never. Else.
Get out. Thank you for coming. Firstly,
Oh, thank you.
Why did you say yes?
It's you.
Oh my gosh.
It's you. I mean, I've been binging on some of the episodes that you've had, and I'm hoping I'm not gonna cry. But like, I just love your style of conversation, and because I have manifested you also.
What?
I wanted to work with you for such a long time. You know, I'm always inspired by the work that you do.
Really?
But I'm always a firm believer in timing.
Yes.
When the time is right, things materialize at the right time. It always happens at the right time. So I had to wait, and this is the first of many.
Yes.
And I'm going to just remember episode. Remember.
We
see,
said,
where are my lies? Yes.
And what people don't know is because of how the industry is, sometimes things almost happen and then they end up not happening. So I have been trying to work with this man, and for me, my favorite skit of yours is the Gonka one. It's just because everybody has that mom or that aunt, and I am just in love with where we are with content on places like TikTok, because I come from the era of Pure Monate Show, loving Saturday Night Live, and you know, the Fat Joe Show. So when I see these skits, I'm like, the kids are doing it. What made you start to have the courage to put it on camera?
Sure. It's so interesting because it sort of overtook me. Before I could agree to put it on camera, I've always been insecure about my voice. Anytime you see, like when people see me, I'd walk into a room or a building, you see this, you know, this beard and this little pot belly, and then I start speaking, and then everyone's like,
oh, because they expected
yes, this is your son Munan, his son mama. Then I'm you see, you're even activating my ugly laugh.
It'll be hilarious if you start saying "Dumelanga baby."
You see,
you must shell a random woman on the side of the road,
dude. So I've always been insecure about my voice. But when I started posting stuff, it was on WhatsApp. Actually, I've always been opinionated on my status because it's my circle, it's my community, it's my people. These are people that know me. But at the time, I think this was just at the end of COVID. There was something called WhatsApp GB, where you could just take someone's status update. You know how we'd be like,
so
please send me
you could
this.
download.
You could just download it. So somebody downloaded it and posted it on TikTok. So that video did wonders on TikTok. This was my first video. I was in the tub, bubbles around me, and all of that sort of stuff. And that video found itself on TikTok, and now I'm seeing this video do so many numbers and whatnot. And my friends were like, just do it. Just do it. And when I posted my first one, that went viral also. So I was like, let's go.
How do you feel about your voice today? Because it does take a while for anybody to hear their voice back.
Sure.
And get used to it.
Sure. I still don't get used to my voice, but I've come to terms with its power and its purpose. And because of what I've seen it do to people and for people, I've had to accept and surrender. If it's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm a person who's a firm believer on things working within the purpose and within the guidelines of how life is supposed to be, you know, how life is destined, because me using my voice may have an impact in your life for your destiny. So if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, that affects you.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to be answering questions at some point. We're like, see, Relebogile didn't get to this because you didn't do that, you know? So I had to surrender. And the second I surrendered, sure, I still get baffled every single day. To be like, we're doing that now? What? We're narrating a Netflix movie?
Yes.
We're doing this? What do you mean? You know, all of the things that I was insecure about, and God is using those things to be like, yeah, I get you. You thought you knew better. Where are you now?
And in terms of the way your voice is, because I just thought about it now, that had your voice been deeper, you might not have been doing skits the way you're doing it. And
Correct.
I don't know, is it just me, or are female characters funnier to skit?
I'll tell you one thing. A lot of content creators grew up with their mothers. So, for example, Farida grew up with her dad. So her skits are her father.
Yes.
You know, so she hardly does a woman, you know. Because we grew up with our mothers, they're easier to impersonate. And I mean, if I were to be in a room and my mother is in the next room, you can't tell us apart.
Yes.
When she answers the phone, you can't tell us apart. I have the exact same sound of voice as my mom. So having grown up with her, it was just so easy because you pay attention. Oh, Mautin. So even those mannerisms, that sort of stuff, you know. And we all have that mom. We all have that mom that, come on.
The thing is, it's weird because I have a little bit of the cool mom, but we all can relate. And this is the part where I'm like, thank you, God, that you made me a black woman, because there's certain experiences that I just love for us as a people, and our ability to make light of some, you know, such difficult things. What does your mom say when she sees the skits? Does she find it funny, or is she like, you know, it's just a part of what you do now?
At first, my mom was annoyed because she was like, I don't do that. I do not do that. And I was like, oh, of course you don't. Of course you don't, you know. But my mom, because I've also teased how I introduced my mom into my actual mom, into social media. So people now recognize her when they see her. So she'd be doing grocery shopping. They're like, hi, Mom's Bosch. What's Malana? Oh, yes. Mom's Bosch, yes. Oh, pushing throat. You know, so she's now started enjoying it. She turned 60 just last week, and I decided to take her to Durban for the first time, you know. And
she looked so happy.
She was on top of the world. She was on top of the moon. And I was so happy to do that for her, because I was like, this is what you deserve. This is where you should be. This was her first flight, first hotel.
His dildo's busy vibrating on his couch. Please answer the dildo.
So annoying. It's not. And it's now weird because I have to... No.
The dildo stays at the back. It keeps him calm during interviews. The dildo that the makeup artist helps set up. But honestly, she the reason I smiled so much, because I know that feeling of, you know, we dream of doing stuff for our moms and giving them these new life experiences, and I can see you guys have a close relationship.
Yes.
But you know what I think you and your mom need to do? I'm giving you a business.
Sure.
You guys need to release a gown and Charlie range, because your skits get gown, and then there's also that things that you love to do.
It's that respect.
Yes, and then
that's yes.
So I
way
would
ahead of you.
You're doing
Way ahead of you. We're prototyping, and we're trying to create a Mums Bosch-esque sort of thing. We are prototyping, and it's picking up better.
Does it have a duku with it?
It does.
I'm within.
It does. It's a whole combo. It's a whole combo where we're trying to take Mums Bosch to the people and have people experience Mums Bosch. And yeah, it's a gown. It's a jali. It's all of that.
It's everything.
Yes.
Now that I'm 40, I also need a jali for when in the TV room.
You are very. No, give it another 15 years. Please. Sure, goodness.
You know, I tell people that I feel like I've lived such a full, busy life. 60, 65, I want to exit. And I'm saying for myself, I even asked the listeners, and I said, do you know what age you want to go? And someone like, I want to live forever. One of the listeners, and this is not funny, said, even if I go today,
I'm ready to leave. Like, that's what people are tweeting,
because
guys.
Life is so much.
Literally. Like,
so what age would you choose to, if you're like, if God said, you're going to have all the successes, but I can't guarantee good health.
Sure.
Blah, blah, blah. When do you want to bow out? Because for me, I want to bow out before hip and knee replacements.
You know what? It's a little tricky for me because there are little check boxes that I need to tick off. You know, there are little boxes that I need to tick off. There are things that I want to do. There are certain aspects or things that I want to do for my family. There's aspects of generational wealth that I want to create for my family and be able to do that. But I also want to wake up one day and not feel the need to work. So currently, my career took a turn. You know, I was getting a pay slip and I loved that.
Oh, you mean from corporate
to now? And now that I'm a freelancer, it's still so tricky to navigate because I'm like, I think I am doing okay, but I'm like, I still have so much work to do.
Also, SARS is waiting for you. I'm an influencer.
Baby, let me tell you, way ahead of you. I think, you know, one of the
No, because you come from corporate.
Yes.
So if you didn't have your SARS egg together.
Yeah, I'm so cringe. But I've got a very great friends, the circle of friends who are all Avengers. My lawyer's in my circle of friends. My accountant is my circle of friends. So all of those people, when Brand Alpha took off, they were like, oh no, I'll do your books.
Nice.
I will check your contracts. I will do this. I will do that. So yeah, and also I have to beg for my own money from my accountant. Like, hey, brah, kikupa 10,000. Please, I earned it. Can I please just go to Durban? Do you mind? It's like, no, it's not in the budget. Sit at home.
because you have to operate as a business, right? You bill as a business, all of these things as a business. Are you concerned for, and when I say your peers, I mean nje in the industry, because I mean, I've been around for long and I've seen so many people come and go where maybe they haven't been able to create something sustainable for themselves. Or do you feel like the information is so available, you're not at all concerned?
It's still not, the information is available, but there's just too much information. So we do not know what to take and what to absorb anymore because we're just so inundated with information. That's number one. Number two, a Relebogile grows into stardom, grows into understanding the media dynamics, the hustle, and what happens within that industry. And Alfie, for example, posts one video and wakes up with 500,000 followers. So they have not gone through the process of, oh, sharp, this is what happens when you sign the wrong contracts. This is what happens when you get sued. This is what happens when you don't pay SARS.
Have you been sued?
I've never been sued. And I pray I never. I'm such a nice person. Please don't sue me. Please. No.
I don't know why. I feel like it would be so cool to be like, someone sued me. No one sued me.
No,
like, the first time somebody went to the BCCSA about me, I was like, yeah, let's go.
I was like, Oh, let's go.
Yes.
No, I wish, I really hope I never get sued.
Yeah.
I try to color within the lines, you know,
Okay.
just not get into trouble. But yeah, I think my fellow content creators and other people who are in the gig industry just need to get that information. But for me, more than anything, I see that as a gap. That's an opportunity because there isn't a knowledge transfer. And who's going to do it?
Selling your courses now on YouTube. Subscribe. Only for $799 a month.
You see?
I hear you.
At least I'm not saying we should go to Russia.
No, but oh my gosh, he went there.
Sorry.
Pick me. Oh my gosh, I'm too old.
No.
Am I too old?
No. You thrive.
I have to ask. How do you think that situation was dealt with? Because I went the other way around of being traditional media. Now I'm also I don't really fully refer to myself as a content creator or an influencer. I've always felt like, as Bonang says, I'm influential,
Yes,
darling.
yes, darling.
But now that I'm starting to get into that space, firstly, respect to content creators. The fact that you have to, I shot stuff for myself in Mauritius for the first time, and I was busy sitting with my team saying, TikTok, okay, pressa, mocha. Like, that was me.
And you're just like, good morning, and the camera's here. And I'm like,
no, it's the one down here. Because I said to myself, with the content creation space, I just realized, because for me, I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. Sure. If we're going to do this, let's have the 12 cameras and do it and have a post-production team. So I started saying, Yazin, if I don't just start shooting in the morning and talking, nothing's going to happen. Exactly. Now that I'm starting to see, I'm like, respect to what you guys do. Doing the same thing over and over. Yeah. Editing your own videos, shooting your own things. Now you must figure out your outfit. They're doing their own makeup. Yep. They are, guys, respect to you. The things that the opportunities I get, I'm so grateful. But there's certain things I'm like,
you're like,
we're doing what?
I'm not doing that.
No, to the point that I even get anxious.
It does.
I get anxious of like, did I do okay?
Yeah. It's
it has that thing. But in terms then of some of the murmurs and, I don't want to say hate, but the growing dislike, if I call it that, for influencers and people doing what you do.
Sure.
Do you think there's any validity in that, or do you think we need to get to a point where maybe certain conversations need to be had? I don't know what your thoughts are being in that space.
You know what? It's an ever-growing space, and it's a space that is here to stay. You know, it will morph into different aspects or different shapes and sizes and all of that sort of stuff. But it's a space that is here and that has made so many success stories, right? And by virtue of that, I'm sure that when you got into broadcasting, your seniors or your predecessors were like, banaba,
they were.
So it's natural because change is not easy for people. Also, it's disrupted so many things, so many avenues. So what used to be a process is now circumvented because this person's got 1 million views or 1 million whatnot. So it's tricky. It's tricky to navigate. But I think once we come to terms with the fact that let's find ways to merge all of these industries and all of these facets, because they are under one umbrella. But if we just merge them and create opportunities of partnership as opposed to competition, we're going to thrive. Definitely, because you understand being a broadcaster, you understand being traditional, but you're now stepping into content creation and you're finding your feet. You get anxiety, it's stressful, but you're finding your feet and you're thriving. And you're trying.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you are.
If my mom knew that I'm recording myself, first thing in the morning, did talk? Because I said to myself, if I'm going to overthink it, if I record, watch back, edit. Nah, like
It's not gonna happen.
I can't, and I'm actually only starting to really have fun on social media right now. I mean, my team, when they say, what are you binge watching at the moment? TikTok, that's what I'm binge watching. I'm watching your guys' skits, your think pieces. I'm watching Problems in America. I'm laughing at silly things. Now we're into meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
That's where we are. Have you felt that at some point you've had moments where you wished you hadn't left corporate, that you could have still had that stability of pay slip? Or do you feel like you could have never truly flourished if you didn't leave? Because some people are still doing both. They're managing their corporate lives while being content creators.
I definitely would have never been able to do both because of the role I would occupy or I was occupying. I was spokesperson where I was, you know.
Or Eskom, yeah. He was that guy switching off the electricity during load shedding.
That guy went a video to be like, hey, Atembisa, Davidson, good, you know. So, we had a media monitoring service, right? So what it would do, it would clip, anytime Sipho Mkhwanazi is mentioned, it would clip those. So now
it's like a Google Alerts, but for traditional media.
Yes. So my seniors would now see all of these clippings, like, wow, I mean, how many statements did you put out this week? I was like, oh no, it's these videos, you know. So it was a little tricky to navigate also, but I think I wanted to really explore the aspect of working with people on a closer level, you know. There were parameters, you know. We're a state-owned entity. There's a specific way in which we have to carry ourselves. There's a specific way in which we have to present information, you know. But when I stepped out, I was able to really, really access people the way I wanted to. And that for me was more important than my payslip and the stability that I had. So I had to figure out a way to create that stability for me this side. Yeah.
Which are the top 3 politicians, ministers that you enjoy their content on social media? Because some of them be like influencers. Top 3.
I enjoy doing skits with our president. So when the Rugby World Cup, when we won the Rugby World Cup, there was a video of him saying, basebenzile abafana, you know.
And what did you say?
Mom's boss was like, yeah, man, yes. Ramaphosa, man, yes. It's a new prize. When you public holiday, you know.
Do you remember when we were begging for that damn public holiday?
And it came like months later.
Mr. President, if you're watching, we feel robbed.
Come on, man.
You owe us that public holiday.
We were promised.
For
exactly.
Guys.
Same thing when Rwanda had issues with us. At some point, remember Rwanda had issues with us. The president was like, you know. Then I decided to call, Mams Bosch decided to call the president to be like, Orengi, you know, so President Nobute, you know, so I enjoy creating content, but I try not to follow our politicians as much and consume a lot of their content because I sometimes get really disappointed in how the state of affairs is in our country. You know, I think our country is deteriorating at an exponential rate. I'm very, very afraid, you know. So I would rather just block them out because you just feel the need to comment on a post, be like, brah, there's no water in Randburg and you're posting this week, you know. So I'd rather not.
So when the president asked why it is that you are poor and he is not, what's the answer?
How do you not know why we're poor? Like, come on, bruv. Like, how do you not know? You know, so for me, it's things like that. Like, how
you say, bruv, you listen to shits and giggles, don't you? I had to unfollow them. Sorry, guys.
No, you're not.
I was enough. I had to.
It's a mad thing, man.
So, okay, please answer for us. Why is he rich and we are not?
I don't know. I really do not know why he's rich and we are not. But he just needs to fix it. You know, he just needs to fix it. Him and his team. You know, I think they were elected because they are trusted to carry out a mandate. And I think sometimes the politics get too politicky. And sometimes the work does not get done. And this is having worked in a state-owned organization. I know how brilliant our government can be. I know how impeccable. We've got incredible minds in the public sector. It's just that sometimes it just gets too tricky. Yeah, it gets tricky. And also, I mean, come on, man. The retirement age in our country is 62, 63, 65.
Wait, are we talking if you work in government or if you're just a normal person?
Just a normal person.
Okay, because if you're in government, there is no retirement age.
And it's things like that, you know. It's like, guys, actually, you know, how about you just go rest, you know, so that there's fresh minds, there's other people doing and pulling the heavy lifting, you know. We need that in our cabinet. We need that in our public sector, you know. So sometimes, yeah, it's tricky in that regard.
Next year's gonna be local government elections. And obviously local government is where a lot of the action is not happening with things like service delivery.
Of course.
I don't know why, but I feel like you would be amazing as a public servant. I think you're honest. Outside of like the skits and being this hilarious person, I think you're practical and smart and honest. Is it something that you could consider, let's say 10, 20 years time?
This is so interesting because I was approached by a production company that is going to be speaking about local government elections next year and all of that sort of stuff. So we had to shoot something ekhaya, and I've got a crazy story because I called my grandfather and I said, Baba, sizo shoot that endlini. My grandfather called all his friends and he was like, put them on camera. We're all getting out of the ghetto. This is my friend Ubanban. I'm like, Baba, it's not that, you know. He was
thought
like,
it was the big,
no, he was
finally
like,
have made it yours.
What? We're on TV? No, it takes endlessly. TV, you know. I was like, no, you can't do that, you know. So
that is so sweet.
So that keeps following me. I've loved working in the public sector. I only worked in the public sector when I was in corporate, but I think it's too much of a load to carry because you think of how much fixing needs to be done, Relebogile, you know, and I'm like, man, my view is you'll do the fixing. I don't want the office.
And you must stop saying when I worked in corporate. You worked in government.
But I mean, it's corporate, is it not?
Government.
Hey, government.
Government. Emile. Government. Something that I have, you know, seen from not just how you MC, like you are just a very loving, warm person. And I know that you lost your sister at some point.
My dildo.
Your dildo again.
Like,
your sister, what kind of relationship did you have with her, and how did that inform what the grief was like? I mean, I've never lost a sibling. I've lost people close to me, but I can't even imagine.
So my sister and I were very cat and dog, you know, polar opposites. Like, you know, she thought the sky was blue, I thought the sky was black. We just, we were weird, but we were very close. Also, we got a lot of time to bond, and we understood each other, all right? The grief was very interesting because I had to experience the grief immediately after I decided to leave my job.
It happened at that same time.
At the same time. So I had to hide that from my mom. I had to hide from my mom that I had left my job.
Oh my
because I also had to
gosh.
manage her frustrations. You know, you can't have a parent who's just lost a child and this one just, you know, decided to say, no, I'm cool with this job. You know how parents are.
And you
know?
quit the job to make the video.
You know, what? Wednesday evening, I'm a video. You know, so I had to, I mean, my mom only found out, I think, 2 years after my resignation. Now, kind of through a newspaper article.
That is a 2-year lie.
Through a newspaper article, and she was like, how about Silana wena uye kumsebenzi Sipho uye kanjani? I asked me, "Mama, newspaper mara." And I was like, no man, let me actually just tell my mom, dude, I left my job 2 years ago, but look at you, you've been fine. I've been able to do everything. I'm still afloat. I'm okay, you know. And only then, now man, I still manage my mom. Even now, my mom still thinks I work somewhere. I report to an office at 8 a.m. and I knock off at 5 p.m. She still has that. So I try to maintain that as best as I can because that's what makes sense to her. She doesn't understand quality. I'm shooting videos and I'm doing this and whatnot. She's like, okay, yeah, nice side hustle. When last, you know?
You know, do you remind me of my, when I was like, 19, 20. So when we were shooting Zone 14, I mean, it was easier to stay by my grandmother in Zerbekom.
Okay,
so I could just sleep over
sure.
there. She could not understand Hore. So udula ko tropong. Kholo sebetsa ko location.
Sure.
And then usuna bashimane.
They have a problem with that.
She couldn't understand Hore. Why did you leave? So you left the township to go work,
yes.
to live there,
yes.
to come work in the
like more than anything. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So the grief was crazy, man, because I'm the sort of person who sort of tries to bury things. And I remember just blacking out one day, you know, because it just all started coming. Yo, we lost my sister, you know. So it was hard to navigate, but I had to also be very, very strong for my mother. You know, my mom has suffered quite a lot of trauma. She's experienced a lot of trauma. So I had to hold the fort because I couldn't also crumble. But I am very fortunate to have a very, very safe circle around me, a circle that keeps me accountable also to be like, you're taking on too much. You're not grieving. Calm down. You need to start and process. You need to deal with this. You need to, you know. So, yeah, it wasn't easy to navigate, but we pulled through.
Is it yet at a point, because I know there are some families when somebody's passed on, after everybody leaves, it's almost like everybody just goes about their lives. And then you haven't got comfortable with talking about them after they've passed in a way that's normal, not like you bring up the name and it's like, yo, Ghana, she's
yeah.
Yes. Have you guys reached that point? And because I know so many people struggle with grief, I think it's important to also share the different ways that individuals handle these things in the quiet, dark moments.
Sure.
Because it can hit you 10 years later as if it just happened that day.
Exactly. So, I mean, I still speak of my sister in present tense.
Really?
You know, I lost my grandmother 2 years ago as well. You know, she was my pillar. I still speak of them in present tense, so much so I still use my sister as an excuse. You know, when those car people want to wash your car?
Yes.
I'm like, no, this is
Really?
Pocket money, you know, so I can't, you know. Yeah, this is
Do you still have her number on your phone?
I don't have her number on my phone. I don't. That's creepy.
I can't delete people's numbers. I have so many. But you know,
nah.
I can't because I can even really.
You gotta go. No.
Really? Once someone's gone. So for me, because I want to be able that if I'm thinking about them, I can just search their name maybe on WhatsApp and listen to a voice note. But even people who didn't have WhatsApp, I still have my grandmother's numbers on my phone.
I remember all these numbers, but I don't keep them on my phone. And I'll tell you why. I remember when we had lost my grandmother. We lost my grandmother in February. And around April, I started feeling fluish. So I'm at Checkers, just buying stuff, whatnot. And then I'm like, oh no, the best person who knows a flu remedy, my grandmother. And it went to voicemail, and I was like, oh, you know. So that's why I was like, nah, this number's gotta go, dog. Like, this number's gotta go. So, we navigate it differently, you know. And there, I left everything. I broke down. I was just like, actually, no, I'm going back home. I can't do this. So I was happy to have that moment. Also, I enjoy moments of exhale where I'm bursting into tears or I'm processing, because that says to me, I'm processing, I'm living through it, I'm going through it, you know, I'm not stuck there, I am processing it. So for me, those moments also matter as much, you know, in as much as I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was down here, but I'm going through it, and it's important for me to continue going.
I sometimes have to intentionally schedule time to cry. I know this sounds silly, but I'll tell you why. So if I'm moving in a really busy period, like even now as we're shooting, coming out of two family deaths, coming out of 2 colleagues' deaths, where because I've been so busy, I haven't had the time to actually cry. So I'll look in my schedule and I'll say, okay, when is the day? It's a process day, but it's for me to cry. Because eventually you feel that lump, and I'm always scared that one day I'm going to get to the garage and the guy says, 95 and then I go,
exactly. Oh, you're live on air.
I've cried. I haven't cried. Oh no, I did cry on air when my grandmother died, but the way that happened, because like even today I was really emotional with the thing, I was crying on air. But if it's not related to anything we're doing on air, I know when my grandmother passed, there was a day I just was sobbing. So it was sob during the ad breaks and then just be like 15 minutes after, and then you're like, we'll be right back. In between.
Goodness.
So I said to myself, if I don't schedule cries, and because my calendar just sometimes gets so busy where I'm like, okay, where's my day for processing? And if I don't get rid of this lump, it's going to come out at the wrong time. And I just am like, I don't want the poor petrol attendant to be like, I just said 95.
Mine is 93.
So I do schedule. And then I'll also be like, yo, this cry will be better in the bath.
Oh, let me tell you, if I have an emporium, it has to be my tub.
Is it?
My goodness. I sit there, and that's where I respond to emails. That's where I record some of my skits. That's where I sit and I think and I take stock of everything. I really enjoy being in the comfort of water. Like I really enjoy being in water. It feels so safe in water. The one day I said to Mama, "Miazma, if like ngahlala emanzini, wathi Mama, masicale lezo zinto manje. Sizofuna ukuthwasa phela manje. Why ufuna uhlala emanzini? Very wrong. You know, I really enjoy the safety of water for me. Like I really like being there, and that's where I also do my crying. That's where I do my singing also.
Are you a swimmer?
I am a swimmer. So
you are full on water baby.
I through and through.
Okay, you're the same as me. I tell people I'm a mermaid.
Yes.
Mauritius was the best time for me because that water's like bath water temperature.
Exactly. And the beaches are crystal clear.
And you know, do we still have pool water in KZN?
I mean, I was there recently, and it wasn't that bad.
But there's still poo.
I mean, it's not poo, guys. I can say, it's not poo.
Where was that girl that was swimming and she was in swimming?
That was so scary.
Look, I still go to KZN. Anytime I can, you saw that.
I saw it.
And then the bubbles were, man, we need to sort that whole issue out. Oh my goodness. In terms of your presenting career.
Yes.
I mean, people won't know you sit in a lot of my proposals, but are you loving that space? which obviously comes with a different dynamic, because live you feed off of the energy when you're MCing.
Yes.
Now to have a director in your ear,
Yes.
like, are you loving and enjoying it?
My goodness. So I grew up wanting to be the typical YoTV child.
I thought you were going to say you grew up wanting to be Vinolia Mashio.
I know. I wanted to be on YoTV when I saw Hurisani, when I
Carly,
saw Carly,
Fields.
Sipho,
Yes.
all of those people, Akumzi.
Yes.
I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. But God has had his own time and his own plan, you know. So now that is unfolding, that is I'm sort of going back to that dream, and my inner child is going, yes, we wanted this, and it's happening. So I get really, really, really excited every time. I remember the first time I had to cross live was at the Summers.
Yes.
And TikTok
When
had
you were
put me-
hosting the red carpet.
Yes.
Yes.
But also the green room at the back, because TikTok had like a whole
Backstage thing.
backstage thing. And they had told me that I would be on the red carpet, and that was fine, right? They didn't tell me that I'd have to cross live. And I remember this guy saying in my ear, listen, if there's one thing you can't get wrong, if you really want a career in live broadcasting, make sure that when the second goes 1, you're done with your link. Do not let us cross while you're still speaking.
Yes.
Don't allow that.
Yeah.
If there's anything if there's any mistake you're going to make, please. So I had 4 live crossings. And I remember him counting me down, and I had to literally slow myself down right to the 1. And I was like, South Africa, Sipho Alphi Mkhwanazi, indoda emhlophe nenjebe ithi God bless and good night. Nginithanda nonke. My goodness. Dude, like for me, that was, yes, Ekidu Matey. This is it. This is it. And that was the start of so many, you know. So, yes, there's an exhilaration that it brings out of me when I'm there, because it's so synonymous to what I've been doing. One of your colleagues was in class with me.
Yes.
When we're in varsity.
That's our content producer, Pashida.
Yes, exactly. And Upashida always had that fire in her. I was always inspired by Upashida, sometimes annoyed. Pashida always had answers.
I love how you say sometimes annoyed.
She always had answers.
Yes.
But we were just sharing just now that we were just so hungry, you know. So bumping into her now, I won't be surprised, you know. I'm not surprised that she's doing this, because she had it then. So for me, this whole presenting and being in the space of mainstream media really just seals all of that hunger and all of the aspirations that I had, that affirm that these dreams that I've always had for myself were valid then, they're valid now, and they'll be very valid in the future.
And I love that they don't even have any kind of expiry date.
No, absolutely
You know
not.
what I mean?
Absolutely
Like,
not.
you can be you're not the YoTV presenter that's a teenager having a tutor on
Yes,
set.
yeah.
But you are the one who's getting to cross live and work with brands.
Yes.
And you need to declare those pants SARS.
Yes.
You need to contact.
that's all.
They want, when SARS comes for their 25%, they
Yes,
must cut here
that guy.
and give them this
Exactly.
of the pants.
2 of these.
So there's something we do on the show. I know you've seen some episodes.
Yes.
Everybody thinks it's boloi, and I have to keep reminding people it's not boloi, guys. I'm a soulful, spiritual person.
Yes.
But not just that, I love things that help us question ourselves and connect more with ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shuffle these cards.
Okay.
And when you're ready, you tell me stop.
Okay.
I have lots of practice shuffling cards from playing Skaku.
Okay, stop, because now I was waiting. I was willing to wait for 30 minutes. So keep going.
Pick any card. Don't look at it. Okay. Look at it and read it to me.
Okay.
Other side, other side.
Oh, other side. Am I apologizing for my truth?
Are you?
Sometimes.
Why?
Sometimes. I'll tell you why. I may have arrived at a truth that you are not ready to accept yet. And and I have to be gentle and tender in how I present my truth to you. So there are some aspects of my truth that I will have to sort of tweak around while I wait for you to meet me at my level, which I hope you extend the same amount of grace to me. Because we don't get to the same places at the same time. Our experiences are not, and your truth may not necessarily be my truth at that time, but the truth is the truth regardless. The truth is the truth regardless, right? However, we may not necessarily arrive at the truth or to the truth at the same time. But we just hope that while we're journeying to the truth, we're gentle and we afford each other grace.
I'm going to read you. So what part of you is apologizing for your truth and why? Is there any specific part of you? I mean, you've touched on it already. And what it says today, be proud of your truth. Catch yourself when you want to apologize or withhold parts of it. You never know whose life you will change when you are brave enough to speak it. Be the lighthouse that shines on the courage that lives in all of us. This will give others permission to speak their own truth. There is room for all of us.
Shoo. Oof.
Do you see why I love these cards?
Red for full.
What resonates with you in all of that?
I think there are certain aspects of me that expect a specific standard, a specific standard of excellence, a specific standard of decorum, you know? And sometimes when I don't get those, I hold back a little, you know? And it is because of said excellence and decorum and standards that have gotten me to this place, you know? So there's some parts of me where I'm like, okay, I'll be patient. I'll be patient. I am also a natural born seer. You know, it's not something that I chose. I just happen to see. So sometimes I will see stuff, but I have to also be tactful in how I communicate that. And it's,
you mean as in the gift of sight?
The gift of sight, you know. So there'll be stuff I see, but I you know, sometimes I have to hold back because it's maybe not the right time and all of that sort of stuff. So I think sometimes I fall short in that regard, where I have to own it and be bold and say, it's this. It's this. And if it's not this, it's not it. It's not.
I feel like you are strict with yourself when it comes to faith and Christianity in particular, in a way that because you marry the parts of you that are very traditional and staunch, but also the modern parts of you in how you practice your faith. But now that you're telling me you're a seer, I'm like, ding, 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 ding. How are you marrying that with being an active Christian? Because sometimes people see these things as conflict.
Sure. They
see it as, you know, you are, like you say, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. How are you finding that marriage?
The two coincide. It doesn't make sense to me that the two would not live together. I mean, part of the biggest part of the Old Testament is seers and prophets, you know, that would offer guidance, that would offer direction, that would offer the precepts of what God expected. They are very necessary to what we deem as the faith of Christianity and us believing in Christ, you know. So the two, for me, are very, very much married. You can't separate the two for me. And in whatever way I present myself, I always try to make sure that you know that the two are there. You know, I don't hide that aspect of me. I also, when you want to argue, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, you have your own thing. I remember people would ask me, Sipho, how are you? Are you comfortable with being somebody who's so fervent in the church and such a staunch believer, but you're also the same person who's going to be a brand ambassador for an alcohol product, you know, or you're going to tell us about Gonka. It's like, oh, well, I love going to Gonka.
Also, did Jesus not turn water into wine?
Dude,
12% alcohol.
Exactly.
We assume.
Yeah. No, but I think it was like a 40-something. Because those disciples...
The disciples was lit.
Like, John, I'm trying to say, hey, peace out. No, man. So, I think for me, I try to present myself in my most authentic way, and those two are married. You know, you can't separate. And when I find myself in a space where I'm forced to have to choose, I pull myself away because I don't belong there. If these yin and yang can't both exist in that space, I'm not supposed to be there.
So authentically, are you dating?
No, I really am not. I'm not.
What does the tongue mean for young people? Not dating.
Yeah, but
are you looking?
I am.
What's your? I don't even know what your type is. Now that I think about it,
you know what?
What is your type?
My type is stable. My type is 6 figures. My type, yes, yeah, my type is futuristic also, and that's all I'm willing to say.
What I feel like you are also those individuals. What did Demi Lovato refer to herself as? I can't remember, but there's individuals who it's not pansexual, it's something else. The people who are like, I'm in love with the person's brain. Is it sapio?
Sapiosexual.
What's pansexual?
Pansexual is I'm in love with a person's personality.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm confused
your energy. Like
I feel like you're one of those, pan or sapio.
I'm in love with money. You know, I'm in love with stability. I'm in love with focus. I'm in love with drive
and ambition.
I'm really in love with that, you know. And if you can give me that, and also just understand the parts of me that are complicated, because there are so many complex aspects of me, you know. I am constantly evolving. I'm constantly morphing into something or moving out of this. I am changing, you know. Jennifer Hudson sang it. I love that song. I am changing. I love it so much, and I'm in love with somebody who understands how dynamic I am, because I'm on a journey, man. I'm growing. I move like the water, you know.
I'm obsessed with you. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, please.
I've loved just engaging, and you have just such good vibes and energies. Like, without having met you in person, even though interviewed you telephonically,
yes.
There's just something. I don't know what it is, but there's something.
Oh, man.
I might ask Alfie.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, on the podcast. Comment down below. Don't forget the hashtag is Relebogile Pod. Let us know who you'd like to see. Also, put some questions down below for Alfie. And I forgot to ask him, your top 3 content creators we need to be following on TikTok.
Sure, Alfie.
Yes.
I think you also need to follow a lady called Zetu.
Love her.
Absolutely incredible.
Yes.
I'm enjoying Jack Samahle.
Ooh.
Loving Jack Samahle. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, Relebogile, you will laugh.
I mean, need I say more? I'll see you guys next time. Bye.